The New York Knicks picked up a 117 to 96 point victory over the Detroit Pistons. Jalen Brunson finished with 16 points, 5 assists, just one turnover, was a plus 21, which was second to RJ Barrett's plus 23. And speaking of RJ Barrett, he did have an incredible game, 8 of 14 from the field for 21 points. He was a lot better, though, finishing around the rim, finishing through contact, something that he struggled with last season. Obviously, if you guys followed the Knicks, which I know you did if you're here, RJ was extremely inefficient. And a lot of that was, of course, his inability to knock down whether it be free throws or threes, but he also just couldn't finish around the paint. He had one of the, I want to say, worst percentages for layups in the entire league. He was like right up there at the top, if not at the top. So RJ Barrett looks like a completely different player. Surprise, surprise. Once again, if you've been following the channel and you're a diehard Knicks fan, you know that RJ Barrett has all the potential in the world. I mean, don't listen to the media. Don't listen to other fan bases. I was guilty of it myself. When the Knicks were first linked to Brunson, I was like 100 million. This is a guy who he's a role player. I mean, I understand he's having a breakout year, but he plays next to Luka. Like, what's he going to bring to the Knicks? He doesn't really make us a contender. And Jalen Brunson definitely does not make the Knicks a championship contender. But what he does do is make everyone around him better, make them more efficient. He's efficient. I mean, in this game, I guess a preseason game against the Pistons, but 7 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. He only had 1 turnover. And you can see everyone around him, once again, played better. Like RJ Barrett, 8 of 14 from the field. Julius Randle, 6 of 10. More importantly, though, no turnovers for Randle. The Knicks and their new big three of Randle, Brunson, and RJ, they combined for 52 points on 21 for 33 shooting. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. This new look Knicks team is going to be in the playoffs. And another thing about the media and other fans is coming into the season, I kept getting comments from this one guy. And I remember him because I got like so many damn comments. He's probably going to comment in this video. And I was listing all the teams that the Knicks are going to have to compete with. There's a lot. I mean, the East is wide open. The entire league is wide open. But I mean, the Knicks have to compete with a variety of good teams. And there was this guy, he's a Bulls fan, and he was saying, I just don't see the Knicks being over the Bulls and like blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of the thing is I was doing it. I was listing like the Cavaliers, for example, right? The Atlanta Hawks. And I think even Knicks fans would agree that both of those teams will be over us. But at the same time, that's on paper. I mean, the Knicks have a good chance to go out there and be one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. They're actually projected by ESPN to win as many games as the Warriors, which is ridiculous. I mean, the Warriors just won the championship, and they still have Stephen Curry. I don't care if he's 34, 35, 37. Steph Curry is still on that roster. But still, it goes to show that the Knicks have a lot of talent. And even though in a team like the Hawks and the Cavs, like I'm not betting on the Knicks to be over them, it doesn't mean that the Knicks can't win more games and can't beat them. I mean, Jalen Brunson, RJ, and Randle, those are 3 all-star type of players. Like you might be like, well, Jalen Brunson is not an all-star. I mean, what are you saying? And you're right. Like he definitely is not an all-star, but he plays like he goes out there, gives you 20 points, 7 assists, even 5 rebounds. He's efficient, team first guy, lives for the big moment. Obviously, he's a closer. So if he can make RJ Barrett and Randle become more efficient, and we know that Julius Randle has another all-star type of season in him, and it wasn't a fluke. Like Julius Randle's a damn good player. He's a lottery pick for a reason by the Lakers. I mean, he was where did Randle go? Top 10. He was top 10 pick, right? So like Randle always has that talent, and all he really needed was just motivation. And this entire offseason, Knicks fans were hating on him, calling to trade him. If you follow my channel, you know how I feel about Julius Randle. I want him gone yesterday. But it's not because he isn't a good player. It's because of, a couple of reasons. It's the way he plays. I mean, he got paid, and he came into camp out of shape, but he's in shape. He's motivated, and he's got a point guard legit next to him. And you can say what you want about Coach Thibodeau. I'm not the biggest Coach Tip fan, but you look at the last New York Knicks coaches, absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. And Thibodeau has given us flexibility. So, and obviously led us to the playoffs, just 2 years ago for the first time since like 2013, back when LeBron was in Miami, Melo was on this team, and J.R. Smith and all these boys, Pablo Prigioni, and it's like Tyson Chandler, all these players, bro. It was a long time ago, man. It was almost a decade ago. So I'm not the biggest Tip fan, but I do appreciate what he brings, and that obviously that is the Knicks had a top 10 defense last season, and they really weren't that bad. They blew a lot of leads, and they had some embarrassing losses to teams like the Pistons and the Magic. But overall, I mean, the Knicks, I really do think this season they're going to be good, and I'm super excited. I really am. I mean, we understand that the Knicks are not going to be seeing much of Miles McBride, and like even quickly, bro. Like McBride quickly. I'm looking at a guy like a Jericho Sims. I mean, we're not going to be even Cam Reddish, bro. He got hurt, but played 11 minutes, was 1 of 6. But Cam did play good defense. I've always liked Cam Reddish, but Isaiah Hartenstein was a huge addition. You could argue that Isaiah Hartenstein was the biggest addition. Actually, that would you can't argue that. Jalen Brunson was the biggest addition, but like Isaiah Hartenstein he really just is a good player because of his playmaking, stretchability, and he protects the rim. But I mean, the Knicks have a lot of weapons. Like you look down their roster, they really do have a lot of weapons, a lot to work with. And even though the East is very competitive, I mean, it goes to show that the Knicks will be in the midst of all of these teams. Like, let's go to NBA standings 2022. Like the teams that we know are going to be better than the Knicks: Heat, Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Raptors. I'm not gonna lie, the entire Atlantic division is loaded. And really, stop right there. Atlanta Hawks, like Hawks and Cavs, are gonna be absolutely scary. Don't get me wrong here, but it's not about paper. Like it's not about stars, bro. Like if winning a championship, absolutely. Like I don't think we're beating a lot of these teams. I don't even know. I really don't believe that though. Like I keep telling myself that I don't see the Knicks being able to do much in the playoffs or being as good as these teams, but I really do like the way the roster is constructed, dude. Like, that's what I just listen to ESPN too. I freaking need to stop listening to ESPN and other stuff, podcasts and stuff like that. Because like you look at the Knicks, like Mitch had 3 blocks tonight. Mitch had 3 blocks tonight. Randall didn't have a turnover. He was efficient. Brunson, obviously, the point guard. Evan Fournier. I hate how Evan Fournier is starting, but it is what it is. Whatever. 5 points, 18 minutes. Basically, I mean, Fournier actually has been kind of solid. Fournier is a really good shooter, and the Knicks, like I said, were a top 10 defense, so they do need offense. And Fournier is only good for shooting threes. Like, he literally can't do anything else. But, hey, whatever. You're not going to hate on a player on the Knicks, on your favorite team. RJ Barrett is kind of the key here. If RJ Barrett can become an all-star this season, Randall can get back to himself. Jalen Brunson obviously stays consistent, is built for playing in Madison Square Garden. Many people haven't been. And then the bench for the Knicks is going to be key. Obi, obviously, Cam, Rose, Hartenstein, Quickly, McBride. That's obviously Jericho Sims is not a part of this. He actually is dealing with a groin injury apparently, but he didn't play tonight. Quentin Grimes obviously has that sore left foot. So the Knicks do have a lot of talent. And despite not having Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, like the Knicks don't have those type of players. JB Bickerstaff's a hell of a coach as well. I'd take him any day over Tibb, but the Knicks do have a hungry team, and the Knicks are always going to have a massive advantage playing at home. I understand that it's MSG and these players are going out there and trying to put on a show, but I mean, the Knicks really, I feel like, are going to absolutely dominate at home. I don't think the Knicks are going to lose very many games at home, and if they can just get to the playoffs and be that 4 or 5 seed, if they can get all the way up to there, I mean, the Knicks could really be a tough challenge for anyone because they defend and they've got a lot of talent. I mean, they've got a lot of depth. Like, teams don't really have the amount of depth that the New York Knicks have. Like, they might have the star power and the firepower, but I mean, you can pull up the New York Knicks like end of their bench, and you've got like Jericho Sims, who legit would average a double-double fairly easily if he was starting, and he did that last season. He got some starts and he looked great. Miles McBride in this game tonight looked fantastic. 6 steals in this game. IQ 5 of 11. Like, I don't know, bro. I just love this Knicks roster. I don't know what to make of it. That's why I'm just kind of waiting to see. I'm waiting to see what happens because I feel like the Knicks could be the 8th seed. They could be the 4th seed. I have no idea. And it's really hard for me to put the Knicks over some of these other teams. But I feel like if the Knicks were to play anyone in the East right now, it would be a close game. And I do feel like the Knicks could beat anyone. Once they get to the playoffs, I mean, like who knows? But I'm just looking at the East and I'm saying, oh, look, like Jalen Brunson and just these young guys developing. I mean, Randall and RJ. I mean, the Knicks got a team, bro. They really do. They've got a team, and it's just kind of a wait and see type of game. But it's your boy Knicks Daily. I'm signing out, guys.